Hello and welcome back to Let's Talk Movies. I'm your host Adrian, and I'm joined by my special guest and I guess co-host for the moment, Thomas. Nah, Monica. Thomas.
Hello.
Hello. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, yeah.
New Year, same.
New Year, same.
Sounds
like the first time.
Yeah, I mean, being 14 days or basically 2 weeks into the year and half our capital is burned down for 24 hours or so.
I thought we were going to talk about that.
I mean, I'm not, but I'm just you obviously got to touch up on something like that. It's definitely been a while since we recorded the last podcast. And
have you put out a podcast yet?
I'm working on it, dude. I'm telling you,
Jesus Christ.
Premiere Pro is being a total to me.
Wait.
It's not Premiere Pro.
Wait, so what do you... Premiere Pro? You're just editing audio in there?
Well, I'm basically transferring, making the audio into like a visual to upload it to YouTube.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
And I mean, the thing is, like, it's just the audio, like, because it's just
put...
one still image that I have on there for the whole hour and like a half of the whole thing.
Yeah. Subtitles?
No, that's too much work. Like every time I've tried to like render the video, like it just crashes because my computer just I guess can't handle it, and it's a pretty long podcast. I would say, I think it was like 70 minutes topped out or something like that. Yeah, and it definitely did not help out.
It takes a ton of time to render. Everything sucks when you're bouncing out like really, really long files.
So I'm hoping I can get a new computer sooner or later. But anyways, last week we watched The Sound of Metal starring Riz Ahmed, and I don't know who else is in the cast because I don't recall. I think that was my first time seeing any of those people on that screen.
Yeah.
It was a great movie. But before we dive into that, I want to just talk about like how you've been since the last time I guess we recorded a podcast back. It was back in October. So we've had
the first one we've done.
So from then we had our breaks or holiday breaks that we've gone through. So like compared to any other year, how has that like affected your traditions, if you had any, like during the holidays?
No, not really, because like basically a whole life we kind of Christmas is always just the family because there's 7 of us, so we don't really have room for more. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? In the house. You
can't push 8.
Eight's pushing it. Nine's like the government's coming down and shutting us down. You know what I mean? But yeah. No, I mean it's
nothing much, just regular same old. Same old,
yeah. The brother and the wife was in town.
So that was 8 now.
No, that was 10. Oh. We might have been like against the law, you know what I mean?
Y'all doing some illegal stuff out there.
Dude, we were fucking. Dude, I wanted the cops to show up and just take us out.
Damn, it really be like that. 2020 year. 2020 has.
Wouldn't that be great? Never mind. I'm not gonna talk about that. I was about to go way too far.
All right, and going into a new year, how does it feel? Does it feel any like different or?
I'm sorry. Can we pause it real quick so I can say what I'm about to say?
Yeah.
All right, we'll be right back. All right, we're back.
We're back, and
that was a very unnecessary pause.
Very unnecessary.
You're right. I'm sorry.
So yeah, how was it? How was it transitioning into a new year? Does it feel like more of the same, or do you like have hope for this upcoming year?
I mean, I had hope.
You had what took it away?
The Capitol.
It's so much for not talking about it. Yeah. Apart from that, anything else?
No, I mean, I feel like it's gonna get better.
So you do have hope.
I do think it's gonna. Yeah, people are, I don't know.
So basically, 2020 was like I don't want to say peak because it's like the opposite of it. It's just like the lowest
like
of the
low. Pit.
Yeah, pit. Sorry, of like years for you in your 18 years of life or 19? I don't know.
Almost 19.
Almost 19. You're pushing it.
Don't Don't underestimate me.
That's just pointing out the facts. I honestly would say the same. I can't recall any worse year, and I don't think anyone can in recent times. I think the last time we had a pandemic like that was.
Wait, Monica, how was the Spanish flu?
How old do you think I am? Cut.
She said cut.
No, we're keeping that in, Monica. I think we did figure it out. It was a box.
It was the box.
Mhm.
All right.
So we will not use that anymore.
Sadly.
As Minnie said.
All right. So it hasn't been a good, or you have hope for it.
Yeah, I think it's gonna get better.
Sorry.
You know, what's the use of being like pessimistic? No one wants to be around a pessimist.
Yeah, that's right. But I do think it's definitely going to be a better year than last year in terms of film.
Mm-hmm.
I know theaters are probably are going to try to open up,
Okay.
unlike last year where they did for like a little small time.
Did we already talk about like movie theaters and if you think that they're gonna?
If they're going to open,
Yeah,
well,
if they're gonna stick around.
I think they will.
Okay.
Because just the experience of being in a theater is so big. I think the numbers might go down.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if it's like 100% true. It may be just something I've heard, and it might not lead to anything that is true. Studios and production companies are like, you know how like tickets, they basically tax off from the tickets. So like most of the money goes to about half the money goes to the theaters.
Okay.
And the other is a taxation within.
Oh, gotcha.
To goes to the studio, and that's how they make the money in the box office and
Gotcha.
whatnot. I think they make more of a. I think the studios make more money than the theaters because the theaters make more money from just making the tickets more expensive with like all the special ways of watching it, like XD, IMAX, the reclinable chairs, and I think most of all, what's it called? Concessions, especially the drinks that are like $4 for like a small, and so on. And I don't blame them. They do it for a reason, and that's just for them to keep business going. And I think the last time I went or going to concessions specifically during the quarantine, the large I was gonna say fries, the large popcorn and the large drink at the Cinemark locations,
like $12.
Yeah, I guess so. Like 15 between both, maybe or so.
15.
I'm making an estimate. It's been a while.
Rolling in the money now.
Yeah, they do. They used to be bottomless. That's the reason being why the price was high when they reached the large sizes. For someone like me, I really hate using the restroom during while watching a movie at the theater, and I hate going to concessions. So like if it's in a group of people and they're like, "Oh, go get a refill," I ain't going for that refill.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say you use your cup to pee.
No, I think. When was it? When
You ever done that?
No.
Even when you're driving?
What?
Like peeing a cup?
No.
You've never done it.
I mean, the furthest I've driven was to San Marcos and back. But
Dude.
like even then, I push it to like 30 to 20 minutes, and I can hold it then.
Dude. Yeah.
Yeah, you go all over the country, so I wouldn't be able to know.
Dude, yeah. There's a technique.
It's called gas stations.
You know, you have to lower your seat, and then you kind of like push yourself up with your left leg while you're driving with your right? And so you have to get up so you're not like just going straight or like going up because then it just pours right out of the cup, and you gotta and you have to get like a big cup because you pee a lot more than you think you do. We're gonna cut that out.
Oh, really?
We're gonna cut all that out. I'm not comfortable with putting that up.
Yeah, me neither. All right, good thing.
Okay, we're not talking about pee anymore.
Anyways.
There is an art though. I'm just gonna say.
Okay. This really specific set of skills.
All right, last story. So I was driving. I forget where from, somewhere in like South Texas, and I had just used the restroom in my car, and I was driving, and I was not thinking clearly, and I was like, "Oh, I'll just throw it at the side of my window," and I roll down, and I go, and the go over like the entirety of the side of the car,
Covered in piss.
and I was like, "Oh." I was so dumb because I was like, I know what this is gonna happen. It went.
You were like, as soon as you were about to pour it out, you're like, yeah, I know what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
You're like,
Yeah, because you're going like 70 and the wind just goes, and you just have like just piss over all the side of your car. And it's like, oh,
I remember,
dude, it sucks.
back in, I want to say middle school, when I was riding the bus, it was like around like either at the beginning of the year or like towards the end of the year when Texas gets hot.
Yeah.
And kids, they don't have, I mean, the buses don't have AC. Well, I
Yeah,
think
no.
now they do because money and whatnot. But back then,
Because rich kids.
yeah, sure. Back then, when I was still riding the bus, they would lower the windows. Everybody would lower them. And I don't know if it was either they threw like a piece of paper, like not a ball, but like a paper airplane or some sort, or they spat out. And it went out one window and it came back into another and it hit someone in the head.
Oh.
I don't know if it was mucus or like if it was like saliva that someone spit out or if it was just like a paper airplane or something like something they threw out. But it flew out and at the same time it flew back into the next window. And they hit the kid. I know it, but for sure I know they hit the kid in the head. And we all just sat down. I wasn't involved in any of this, but I saw it all went down and it was hilarious. Oh my god.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah. I was gonna say, do you have any stories like that from like your earlier years in school? But I guess you were homeschooled for the majority of it.
No, but there was a. I'm trying to remember if this happened to me or if I just heard about it.
Mm-hmm.
Like where, you needed to pee and because there's like 7 of us.
Yeah.
You kind of get in the back. And then you just have like 3 or 4 of your brothers just hold you up against the window, and you kind of pee out the back, and they're just holding. And then sometimes the wind changes, and the pee comes back.
Close the window.
Over all the 4. I hit the mic. That's fine. We're good.
All right. So there's that. You didn't have school experiences on the bus or anything, but you had that.
I think that makes up for it. Anyway, we're gonna cut that out. We're gonna cut all that out.
Damn, that was a good like 5 minutes that you want to cut out.
What do you want to keep it in?
Part of it. Maybe.
All right, I'll keep it in.
Oh, see. Now that I think of it, what is a country that you want to visit sometime in the near future if COVID wasn't part
Country?
of country? Yeah, I want to say country because I don't want to keep it in the States.
I want to at some point. I want to go to either like I don't know, like Wales or like in Scotland. But I really want to go to the Caribbean
Because there's a lot of pirates. There's an inside joke behind this.
That was the dumbest joke I've ever done in my life. Oh, dude, I did that to at least like 4 people today. And
I bet you had a blast.
dude, no one laughed except for me.
I
I was having the time of my life. Dude, it was like only me and like the guys who were like involved with it. Everyone loved it.
It's a dad joke for sure, but I mean,
It's a dad joke.
dad jokes hit every now and then. I would
Dude,
say,
and then
like when they hit home.
Damn.
But I guess if I were to ask myself that same question, I would say probably Australia or New Zealand. I want to like experience.
Dude, Australia, you just like go outside and you die just from all
From anything.
from all the creatures, like anything there. It's like the grass is
The
poisonous.
bunnies.
Dogs there.
Just the people in general. Yeah, they don't have guns, but there's some crazy out there.
They would just be like in bushes.
I don't know if any of this is true. I'm just we're just joking out here. But I definitely want to visit, especially like Melbourne. I mean, it's more of like Austin, I would say, but it's just more expensive. I don't know.
What do you mean?
Like
in terms of like
the way Austin is, just like how everybody wants to move in. Prices are expensive to move in now because it's just a popular city.
Yeah.
All right. Speaking of moving in, how do you feel about Californians and other people coming into Austin?
Whoa, this is a loaded question. This is a loaded question coming in real hot.
Yeah. Because I have my strong opinion, but I just want to know how you feel about it.
I would say, I mean, I've met some Californians that are really cool.
Yeah.
And then I've also met some Californians that are really and I mean, I'm glad the cool ones moved. I'm not glad the moved. But yeah, I don't know. I haven't really thought about it too much.
Too much.
You?
I thought about it enough.
Okay. Talk to me.
I just want to say a little bit like of a backstory. Back I guess when we were both in like 6th grade, so like I want to say 7 years. I don't know. I'm not trying to do the math. Anyways, like South by Southwest, it brings a lot of people into Austin, and
brings in a ton of people.
I don't know if the signs they do this anymore, but they did this back then because people have always been trying to move to Austin ever since, I guess it's been the city that it is today, or it was a couple years ago. And there were signs where like, thank you for visiting Austin. Now please go back to your state or wherever you came, where the you came from. There were signs that were saying that, and they're like, and then there's others like reasons not to move to Austin. 1, there's a lot of food trucks here. 2, the standard is to be fit, so you have to like stay up to the standards of being fit while struggling on eating tacos every day. But anyways, beyond that, I don't like it, man.
Yeah.
It's okay. Funny story. Another one, real quick. Before I started driving, I went on a lot of Ubers on my way from home to work, and back when I used to work at a bar down in downtown Austin. And the majority of them, like, I'll always, like, if I were to talk to the drivers, it would be most of the majority of the time. They're like, oh, where are you from? And I'm like, from here. And they're like, oh, really? And, like, I think, I was like, it caught me by surprise. Like, people found it, like, or that it caught them by surprise that I'm a original, I guess, from Austin.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, the majority of the people are, like, from somewhere else. And I'm like, oh, really? And they're like, yeah. And then it's like, he's like, it's like, I guess not a pleasure, but it's just like, I guess a cool experience having someone that was a local.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow, okay. And I guess maturing a little bit more and just being able to, I could kind of pick out who's a Californian just by the way that
they drive.
Not that. I mean, that's part of the reasons. The other part being just the way they act around people, like, because it's a lot of, because from what I've seen, it's a lot of people from Los Angeles.
Okay.
Because it's a kind of a similar city.
Yeah, it is.
But Austin is so much better because everyone's trying to move here now, and it's probably cheaper than it is over in LA.
Oh yeah.
Anyways, we're getting a lot of. I'm pretty sure it's a lot of LA people, and you could tell by just the mannerisms there, just the way they are. Mm-hmm. And working in the food industry, especially like in the drive-through recently, they're just like they think they're the. I'm like, dude, you're ordering tacos, my guy. What makes you any more special than like me? Like, we're on the same level. And
that's funny.
Being in like the food industry, I've been able to see a lot of just, I guess, people from different places. Some better than others. Not strictly just Californians. I've seen people from like New York.
Gotcha.
Just anywhere, because I guess we're just Texas in general is just attracting a lot of people in.
No income tax.
That is true. Like Elon Musk, he's recently moved. Tesla moved.
Elon Musk. Yeah. Joe Rogan. There's a lot of people moving to Austin.
Yeah, Austin's. Joe Rogan specifically is in Austin. Yeah.
Comedy's about to blow up here.
Comedy?
Yeah, dude.
Nah, people are too snowflakes.
No, they're Rogan's talking about putting a club there, like him and like Chappelle. Mm-hmm. And there's a couple more guys from New York who I think are coming here, and they're big. So.
All right. Speaking of Elon Musk, he just surpassed Jeff Bezos in being the richest man in the world.
I did see that.
Yeah, it caught me by surprise.
It was 154, right?
185, I think, last time I checked.
Damn.
I think that was like yesterday, the night before. Yeah.
I hope he goes to space now.
I think everyone is hoping for that.
Yeah.
Funny enough, like, you know when on Google, like, you look up like just anything, and then it gives you like certain questions that are like similar to that. Oh yeah, I looked up Elon Musk's network, and then like one of the following questions, I don't know why it went from like just like, I guess, relatable topics about Elon Musk, and it's just like who's gonna be the first trillionaire and all that, and it was predicted to be Jeff Bezos by like 2026 or something like that.
2026?
Yeah, or 36, either one. And
dude, he'd be dead by then.
I mean, if the world keeps on going in the pace it is right now, maybe.
We're all gonna be dead.
And then I'm like, it won't be him anymore. It's probably gonna be Elon Musk as the first trillionaire in history.
Trillionaire.
But you also got to keep in mind there's like inflation and whatnot.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah, it's crazy.
Dude,
start investing in Tesla, man, or like SpaceX.
SpaceX, yeah. See, he's like, That's interesting because like it's not a government funded.
Yeah.
It's like he
That's-
can
it's-
do
it's-
literally
yeah.
whatever the he wants.
But I think he is partnering with NASA just to get like an extra, I guess, boost with like trying to figure shit out.
Well, I mean,
Or either that or he's the one helping out NASA. Either one. Either vice
probably,
versa.
probably a little bit of both. Because
Here
NASA's
and there,
been
yeah.
NASA's been doing this for longer than he has.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure probably longer than before. I think before he was even born.
Yeah. And,
Um,
and he has the money.
That is true.
So
I've seen the factory that they're building here.
Really?
In Austin. I passed by.
it's by
It's by the toll road.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like 130, right?
I guess
145?
It's 45 before it turns into 14. Was it 130?
Yeah.
So it's like it's on 45.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
It's pretty big.
Oh, really?
It's still in construction. Last time I went, it was New Year's Eve. I passed by.
Okay.
I mean, they're chopping. They're getting
Isn't
there.
that mother huge thing?
It's a lot of buildings. It's just like I guess it's more of like a campus. It's gonna
Yeah.
be like you know how like Apple has their type deal.
Yeah.
It's gonna be similar. It's just I guess bigger. Cause
Oh yeah,
production
I saw
company.
that today driving
really?
into town. Yeah, I was like,
It's pretty huge.
yeah, I was like, what the is this?
It's like I don't even know what I don't want to guess because I'm probably gonna be wrong.
Yeah,
But it's pretty big.
it is big.
But I'm
Insert joke here.
That's
I
what
did.
she said.
There you go. I wasn't gonna say it.
Yeah. I mean, I have nothing against it. I mean, good for him. He's built probably one of the biggest industries in the car business. And especially as like
I want a Tesla.
I don't know what doesn't want a Tesla. I mean, people that just want to drive trucks.
Yeah,
Even then, there's there's Cybertruck, but
dude, Cybertruck is like. It looks like Iron Man was made a truck.
I don't think so.
Yeah, it does.
It looks like a kindergartner drew like the ones where you draw like he tried to draw a truck or try to draw a truck and then like he was like yeah why not let's make this the model.
You're not wrong.
But I'm probably if I get fortunate enough to get money I'll probably get one as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I ever become rich.
If we ever even get money in the first place. I guess I don't know. Do you have any questions?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I do want to pick your brain a lot on.
No.
Well, no, because I like picking. I like discussing creative parts with other people.
Mhm.
Trying to untangle these wires. Bear with me for a sec.
It's like untangling headphones.
Yes.
I mean, technically you are, but
All right. So when it comes to movies,
mm-hmm.
when you're watching one, what are you watching for? Like when you know, the first scene, you know, opening credits, whatever. Like what's the first like? Because with me, when I listen to music, I'm listening to the vocal. If it's like
Yeah.
a vocal oriented song, which is most music is. So I'm listening for that, and then I'm also listening for the backing, or for the music, like the actual like
Yeah.
instruments or whatever. So like, what is it for you that like what do you start by looking at?
I think for film, it's a little bit more complicated, I would say, because a song, I think the max I've heard a song was like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Pushing it's probably like a score from a movie that I've listened before.
Mhm.
Even then, it really has a lot of factors for me.
Okay, but
Because like I want to get I know what you're trying to say.
Yeah.
Because for one, if it's just a movie that I haven't seen the trailer for it or anything, or I don't even know any like if it's just like
you're
some-
going in blind.
basically like
Yeah.
just completely like I don't even know the name of the movie. I'm trying to like go as it just like pick it up as it goes just to see like where I'm at. But if it's a movie that I'm like that I've seen the trailer for and like I've read a little bit more into it or something or a movie just in general that I'm hyped about, I guess not necessarily just the script. First of all, like you have to pick it off if it's just good dialogue or just even good motion, like just good directing. Because that for me is, I guess, is probably like a cheap way out of like getting into it. But I don't know, because it could be just like a good opening scene.
Yeah.
But sometimes not all movies just have a great opening scene. They just have like it's just a regular, like the credits going by, B-rolls of like cities and whatnot.
Yes.
Like I don't know. That's really
So can you tell from like the first
if a movie's gonna be good in like the first
like
10 minutes.
10 15 minutes, yeah. Or can you get a good idea? Like a good idea of like you could be like, okay, the directing may not be the best, but the dialogue, whoever wrote this is really had their game on.
I would say I think a movie like that like kind of like caught me off guard because I wasn't expecting much from it. Was Steve Jobs.
Okay.
Because it was written by Aaron Sorkins. I'm probably mispronouncing that. He's a great script writer or great writer in general. For people that don't know, The Social Network, the movie that was based off the Facebook and like how all that went down.
Yeah.
Because it didn't go down word for word in reality, but he wrote that script.
Oh,
And he
wow.
also
Okay.
wrote Steve Jobs. And I think Steve Jobs is one of the best written films of that I've seen. I don't want to say of all time because I'm pretty sure there's other ones that have been probably written better. But in that movie specifically, it's 3 acts. It's 3 hard acts. Like you could tell when it's the first and second and third. They're not all like coincided. I don't think that's even a word. But like they're not like it's not like a traditional movie because it takes place of 3 special events of Steve Jobs' career. I don't recall all of them. I think the first one was just like the regular Mac, just the first like the keyboard that the system going on, and then, but like all these events were like before, like you know how in the studios or not in the studios, but like in the presentations where like they release the new iPhones or like this is what's gonna be in it. Back when he was still doing it, like back in the early days, like it was like behind the scenes of what led up to it.
Okay.
But they never showed anything that went down on the stage. It was all behind scenes.
Okay.
It was all behind the scenes. And I mean, his story's already out there, so I guess it's not really spoilerish.
Yeah.
I guess like the first act, I remember it was him denying paternity of a child that was actually his. And the majority of the time, like the movie, like it didn't like jump around a lot. So it was consistent.
Okay.
Because like it'll take you from one room, but the conversation will continue.
Oh.
It wouldn't be a single shot. I don't think they were. I don't recall much, but it was just really good. But I think I'm going on a little tangent here, but I guess a quick answer to I would say a great opening for me is The Dark Knight and The Dark Knight Rises. Both have I guess the most enjoyable openings for me.
They're really good.
For one, it's because they introduced the antagonist. So, and you can argue that one is better than the other. For me, they're both the same. They're both top tier. Even the movies in general, as in the bigger picture, they're tied. Because some people would prefer The Dark Knight just because of Heath Ledger's performance as the Joker, although it is one of the best acting in cinema history. And even then, he was barely in the movie.
Yeah.
But Tom Hardy just takes it to a different level with the character of Bane in The Dark Knight Rises. He shows intimidation, but he also shows that he controls the room wherever he's at. And the same thing happened with the Joker in his movie. So I guess if you would look back at both opening seasons, they're both good. It's just I guess one is more longer than the other. It is, but it just depends on like which way of the boat you lean towards. Because, yeah, like I said, a lot of people don't like The Dark Knight Rises because they're so in love with The Dark Knight being one of the best movies of all time.
Ever. Yeah.
Yeah. But I think The Dark Knight Rises is probably like a slept-on movie compared to that. I mean, people still like it just because Christopher Nolan, for one, is the director of the film. He directed, I think, the whole trilogy. Yeah, he did direct the whole trilogy. Also Inception, Tenet, which we talked about in the previous podcast. And I think Bane is just like an interesting character because although he is like the opposite of Batman. Like he's like the only person that could counter him physically, that actually broke him physically, and it actually broke him mentally as well, which the Joker only did mentally because I don't want to, I guess the movie's been out for 12 years, The Dark Knight. When Rachel dies, it breaks him like emotionally.
No, for sure.
But in this one, he's broken physically and mentally, and like in the movie The Dark Knight Rises, Batman just wants to kill himself. He wants it to be over with.
Yeah.
But that's just the title. Even the title in itself, it has a lot of I was gonna say innuendos, but it has nothing to do with it. That was the wrong word for it. Just the term rises is you can apply it into multiple things in the way it ends.
Gotcha.
Batman Rising, Gotham Rising.
Uh-huh.
The new character, the guy, Jason Gordon-Levitt, he plays basically Robin. That's his actual name, which is basically Robin.
Yeah.
He is becoming the new Batman, and towards the end, or the new Dark Knight for Gotham, because Bruce Wayne. Although there's a debate, I think it's probably already settled now that Batman does not die in that movie. In the end.
Yeah.
Because that is him at the cafe towards the end.
Yeah.
Sorry if I spoiled any of these movies in the past. I want to say,
spoiled those two movies hard.
dude, I love them with a passion.
Dude, you just told everyone Rachel died.
I mean, that was like halfway through the film. I don't think that's like a key part into like the whole thing. I mean, it is, but I mean, who hasn't seen that movie?
That is true. That's a good point.
Who hasn't heard of it and like at least watched clips of it, or just like tune in every now and then when it's on screen? Like,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you've seen it.
Who hasn't? Like YouTube, just the greatest parts, just to like fit in conversation.
I doubt it. Was that you?
No, it's not me. I watched the movie.
Anyways, I think we've rambled on a little bit too much. I want to talk about the sound of metal.
All right, let's do it.
All right. So honestly, it's been a week. I'm still trying to piece back because I've been working a lot and I've been watching a lot of shows. I guess just one show, Narcos. But I've been watching other movies in the meantime, which I guess made me kind of forget it. I have a really bad memory every now and then. Like, I have a bad memory, but also I have a good memory with other things that I shouldn't be remembering. Anyways, what are your first thoughts about the movie? Just,
I really liked it.
you really liked it?
I really liked it. Yeah.
I guess.
I'm trying to remember like what I said on the other podcast.
It doesn't matter anymore. Although, okay. So I chose that movie because I had other expectations from it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I knew he was going to go death. Spoiler alert. That's the point of the movie. It's the plot. Anyways, because I thought it was going to be a lot of like censored in music.
Yeah.
I thought him being a drummer and you
Yeah,
being
me
a
too.
musician. I thought,
Yeah.
like, I wanted to have you as a part of it still, like on top of having Esau there as a guest in the podcast last week that went to. I wanted to get you in there because I wanted to see like what you thought about it, but it
Yeah, but obviously that none of that matters anymore.
it took a different route from what I
went to.
I'm sure. But what I'm trying to say is like the movie took a different route than what I thought it was going to be.
Yeah,
But
and that's what I liked about it.
yeah, for better or for worse, I think it was for the better.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's not a movie about music. It's not a movie about, I guess it is about death, man, losing your hearing.
Yeah.
And that being one of your most important.
Yeah.
I mean, all your five senses are important. But like, this movie really, for me, it made me really think about just the gift of being able to hear.
Yeah,
and I think a lot of people take it for granted, and I definitely took it for granted until watching this film.
Yeah, and it's the way that they kind of portrayed it in the way that they did with the soundtrack and or not even the soundtrack, just like
The sound mixing,
yeah,
and all that, sound editing. Yeah,
like the mixing of
I
it.
think that was.
That was probably my favorite part, was the way that they
mixed.
showed
Yeah,
it.
I'm not gonna lie. When he was slowly going death, I was like, this is some really amazing.
Yeah, and you had to like start talking to people around you to make sure you weren't going deaf.
I think I was just talking in general because I was kind of bored at the beginning, but like the movie, I don't know. It's just the movie just takes it really deep, but not in the way that you would think.
Yeah.
And I just realized that we're talking about this movie. If you haven't cared about it to this point, we are going into this movie a little bit more deep. So I guess if you want to catch the movie, it's on Amazon Prime for free. If you have,
It's not free anymore.
it's really?
No.
It should be. If you have the subscription with Prime, you should be able to watch it for free. But if you don't,
you don't, just go yourself.
Nah. You could probably wait it out. It'll probably go down in price if you don't have Prime. But I highly suggest go watch it and then probably come back to this part of the podcast if not, if you don't really give a shit, I guess continue on listening. But anyways, back to it. It was great sound mixing, and I don't know, like just the movie progressively got better in a way I wasn't expecting it to. Just the character building.
Yeah.
There was a lot in it, and I think this movie was specifically for Riz Ahmed. Or that's it.
Does Alex want to say anything else?
I hope not. All right, but this movie has a lot of characterization, especially with Riz Ahmed's character. From beginning to end, it does develop his character a lot, and I guess from him being just like a complete douche, because he was at the beginning. He took everything for granted. He was just like an average, I guess. What would you call that type of music that they played?
Metal.
Metal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was gonna say rock, but not
No,
necessarily.
it's metal.
And then like he was just like I guess.
He was kind of a, but it was like you could see that he was going through a lot.
Yeah.
So it's like
you could tell he had a past as
Yeah.
well. This movie tackles a lot of, I think, issues. I think for one, it tackles addiction, but not directly.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, at first they show a little glimpse here and there about like him smoking again.
Yeah.
And when they're at the diner and like she's on the phone, she's like, "Yeah, he's smoking again," and he was like, "Yeah, you would have been dead. Obviously, you would have been smoking too at this point."
Yeah.
So I think he struggled with like, I guess, cigarettes and nicotine.
Mm-hmm.
I would say I think a lot of people are struggling with that nowadays, but I think to say the least, I'm gonna jump a little bit forward towards like almost towards the end, because he goes through, I guess, some counseling for like deaf people. It's more of a home or was it like a community that he said it was?
Yeah.
Something like that.
He said community.
Community, where it's just like a house. I wouldn't say it's like a mansion, but it's pretty big, but it's also old, like weathered down and whatnot. And the guy, I guess, that's in charge, he relips. I can't speak English. He reads lips, but like he's still completely deaf. And I guess that's interesting for someone to be deaf, but even then, like someone I could hear.
Yeah.
Like I can't imagine myself reading lips like that and like getting almost word for word, because he understood a lot of the conversation, and like every now and then he would do the sign language as well. But Riz Ahmed's character, I think his name was Ruben. He goes through all that process, and he goes from like, I guess, denial because he just wants his hearing back.
Yeah.
And I guess a little bit before that happens, he wants to get the surgery done because it's mentioned to him, and he's like, he thinks it's an easy way out.
Yeah.
And I guess a lot of people that are deaf don't have that money to get a surgery like that, because like seeing it like played out in the movie, I guess that's as close as I'm gonna get a reality from it. It could be completely wrong for all I know.
Yeah.
And like but again, it opens up a whole new world of people that are out there that are like this and are, I guess, in a way you would say handicapped, but I don't think they would I don't think they use that word within themselves.
No.
It's just a livelihood for them. And he says these things, and towards like when Riz Ahmed's character Ruben, he gets his surgery done and he shows up and he's like, "Yeah, I got the surgery," and he's like, and he confronts him about it. And he's like, "Yeah, it's a livelihood for these people. They don't see it as a handicap. It's just their everyday life.
Yeah, it's just part of life."
And like, just thinking about him, like, damn, he's right.
Yeah.
And I guess Riz Ahmed, Ruben, keep on calling him by the actor's name. Ruben, he just basically took the way out easily.
Yeah.
And you could tell that it's not what he wanted. Like towards the end, like, I mean, he got it done.
Yeah.
He got the surgery done. He could hear, but it's like,
yeah, but it's not.
It sounded like the podcast would have sounded like last week if we went on with it. If you've seen the movie, you'll know kind of a little bit of what we're working with.
Yeah.
Anyways, that happens, and the story changes a lot. I mean, or like the movie just takes a whole different turn once he gets that surgery done. I think it was going well. I think they could have like ended it at the point where he did, like, I guess he didn't have to go to London to do all that. Or was it France? It's France, right?
It was France, yeah.
Yeah.
to visit his
girl. But I guess I don't know. I didn't really listen clearly at the beginning. I didn't know she was gonna go to France. I thought she was going to California or whatnot. Anyways, point is, I guess it's like flipping to a whole new chapter in the movie, and when he goes over there, like he has I don't what would you say, hearing aids?
Yeah, I guess kind of like hearing aids.
I bet they're basically like hearing
implants.
But they're implants.
Yeah.
Yeah, implants is a proper way to say it. But they're basically hearing aids. Like you wear them as hearing aids, but they're also implants. I guess they're 1 for 2. And like it just doesn't sound good. You could tell by his reaction that he's not satisfied with what he got, because he thought he was just gonna get his hearing completely back to what it was, and just go back to his normal life and like playing metal with this girl.
Yeah.
But before because I'm jumping here, and then I'm gonna jump a little bit back to where the counselor was, because throughout his time there at the community where he stayed at the house, he was giving an activity or an exercise where he was closed down in a room by himself. Room was completely white except for the table and the coffee and a donut that the guy provided for him every day at 5 a.m. And the only thing he had to do was sit there for an hour and just sit there, and then like if anything came to mind, he would write it down.
Yeah.
He wouldn't have to try to speak, because I mean the majority of the people there can't speak, and there is no point in speaking to yourself if you can't hear it. I mean, he could probably like yell in anger or whatnot, which I think he did at one point. He also punched the donut, sadly. He punched the donut in there.
He did.
But like you could see, I think they could have like showed a little bit more of that, because you could see a little bit that he like developed him like continuing on writing on that notepad, but at the same time he was like, oh, you can't draw or whatnot, but you only strictly to write.
Yeah.
And over time he gets adapted to like he learns how to do sign language. He learns how to do that, and I guess like he connects with a lot of the people there, and then getting that surgery, it just throws that all the window.
Yeah.
It's basically like a big middle finger to everyone else. Like, like I probably won't be here anymore. And then at that, when he confronts, I don't even know the guy's name. I'm just going to keep on calling him the counselor. He's like, he does that, the counselor does that himself, like the exercise where he goes every morning.
Yeah.
I don't know if he does the same time, like at 5 a.m. or whatnot. But he does that, and then I guess that one moment of silence or stillness is like the gate between heaven, or him and God. It was either one of the two. I don't remember.
He said, like in that silence when I sit, that's when I hear God.
Or when you're in heaven, something like that. And then you go through his, I guess they show a little bit of his life once having his hearing aids or implants.
Yeah.
And he's trying to adjust to it. He's trying to adapt, and he goes back to with his girl, in which we thought she like moved on, but apparently she didn't.
Yeah, that was a very. I think that was an interesting
like choice from her.
No, I mean like just like in terms of like writing the script. I think that was it was very refreshing. Like it wasn't cliche.
It wasn't the usual. Yeah. That's something that this movie does.
And then it was like a very like it didn't end like dramatically. Like you know what I mean? It was very just.
Yeah, it was very mellow. It was very slow.
I liked it,
and it was a good ending. And I guess I'm gonna get there. He goes out for a walk. He wakes up early. I guess he got used to it. It was a habit now from waking up early.
Yeah.
He goes out. He's experiencing just, I guess, a regular day at a park, or I would say it was a park. Yeah, and he just sits down on a bench, and he's looking at a clock or a tower, but that has a bell inside, and like he's just hearing everything all at once, and it doesn't sound beautiful per se.
Yeah, because though it doesn't make it just brings everything up to a volume, so everything's at the same volume.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, it doesn't have perception.
Yeah, exactly.
And then he's just like he doesn't snap, because that sounds like he's mad, but he's not.
No, he just
he gets that moment of stillness once he takes off his implants or hearing aids, because he has the implants inside, but he takes off the hearing aids that he attaches on. He takes them off. It's complete silence. He's back to being deaf. He sits there. He smiles.
Yeah.
end of scene. He reached that stillness that the counselor was trying to get him to be, or try to get him into. And I think having that open ending to like for interpretation, I think because it's pretty obviously that he's gonna live a happy life now.
Yeah. Or
And like
happier.
yeah, than he was. I guess yeah, like it developed him to where he, I guess it was a journey from being, I guess, in the bad place where he could have eventually relapsed on whatever addictions he had, and because he did say he like tried almost every drug or whatnot when he was talking to the counselor when he was I guess not signing up because they dropped him off there basically.
Yeah.
And he was to a point where like at any point he could break and like relapse and just throw his life to shit, or even just because I don't know if they like I think there was a little hint of like self-harm and suicide in the movie, hinted in every now and then in the movie. You would see it, but in the end, he's just a whole new person, and I guess I think it's just a better overall, I would say, person. But I've been talking a little bit too much.
Yeah. No, I do really like that movie in the way, I guess, how it seemed more like realistic. Like everything wasn't so dramatic. Like he wasn't like, always mad or always just throwing.
Yeah.
Like there was definitely like good days and there were bad days that like it showed him going through.
Yeah, it portrays that.
Yeah, and then at the end, it really was like, I think it did a very good job at portraying like the human condition, which is what I that's what I found really refreshing about this film, and it really wasn't like a drama. It was, or I guess it.
You could say it's a drama, but I think it's more of a. I guess it's just a personal.
Yeah.
I forgot. There's a word for it, and there's a specific genre or category for this type of movie. I don't want to say. I can't think of it off the top of my head right now, but it's a very toned down movie. It's not like any other movie I've seen.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure there is another movie out there that is very, very similar, but I guess it's original for me, and I think it's going to be an original for a lot of people.
Yeah.
And I also think it's going to be a movie that slips under a lot of people's radars, especially just because it doesn't have any like well-known actors. Because Riz Ahmed, I think previously the only time I remember seeing him on screen was for Venom. He was like the antagonist for that film. I'm not even going to try to like figure out what the symbiote was in that movie or the actual just like the character that he played.
Yeah.
Here, I'm trying to look up his other movies. He was also Nightcrawler. You haven't seen that one?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he was Jake Gyllenhaal's. I don't even know his character in that movie. His like sidekick, I would say. He was also in Star Wars Rogue One. He was that pilot that helped him out. You probably won't remember much of it. Yeah. We probably if you watch it again, you'll probably recognize him.
Yeah, I definitely will.
He's in one of the Jason Bourne movies, and then from there on out, I guess it's just a lot of smaller movies. A lot of good movies though, and I think this movie gives him his breakout. I think this is his personal breakout movie.
Yeah.
Where
it was phenomenal.
Where he puts his name out there. I guess the last time I saw like an actor do this was in Bohemian Rhapsody. Rami Malek. Yeah. He did that same thing. He was an okay actor. He appeared in video games.
Yeah.
He was in this movie, a video game that was really good. I guess good in story wise. It's not much of you can't play much. It's more like a telltale. I think this like you choose a path and like choose like dialogues to say, and then that depends. The path you take takes you to a different ending and whatnot. He's in that. That's the first time I actually saw him as an actor.
Okay.
And then he's also in iRobot, and then I don't know what else he was in. I'm not gonna act like I do know. But then Bohemian Rhapsody came out. He won Best Actor, and just his buzz around him just went skyrocket.
Yeah.
And now he's a main villain in the new James Bond movie that's gonna come out this year that got delayed last year.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for that. Anyways, I'm going a little bit of a tangent, but we're talking about Sound of Metal. Anything you want to add?
No. Yeah. Honestly, it was just
it was a phenomenal.
It was a phenomenal movie. Yeah.
It's not a big movie. I'd say. I think I've touched up a little bit about saying like it's not. I could see a lot of people not liking it for the way it ends, because it's not your traditional movie. It's really not. It's more of an artsy type of film.
Yeah.
And artsy, those types of movies don't land well with just the regular audience. And for you, I think it's just you being. I think would you consider yourself like a regular audience, just a regular moviegoer?
Oh yeah, for sure.
I think it just hit you on a different level just because of the characterization and just the way the plot was, the script. I would say it takes a huge part of it, and the acting is just great. But I could see, like I said, I could see a lot of people not liking it. There's a lot of movies that are great, and it's just not. I was gonna say similar, but just artsy films.
Yeah.
They don't get a lot. They're mostly indie films like this. They don't get a lot of like, basically any buzz, and people are like, it doesn't get my attention. It's not like a Marvel film. It's not big.
Oh yeah.
Blockbuster. I said that weird. Anyways.
You said blockbuster.
Yeah, I have an accent that kicks in every now and then when it shouldn't.
Forgot I said anything.
All right.
I'm not racist.
I wasn't saying you were, but okay. All right. I guess we're going to come into closing thoughts. What would you rate it out of 10 using, I guess, being allowed to use the decimal? I think you gave it I don't want to say what you gave it.
It was an 8.5 to 9.
8.5 to 9?
And I'm pretty, and maybe it's because I don't remember
most of the stuff. So if you were to rewatch it right now.
9.
Yeah.
I'm just going to go 9, 9.5.
9. I want to agree with you, but like when I started off the film, I'm not going to lie, I was really bored.
All right.
That was just the pacing. It was just the pacing, but like it slowly goes up. Like that's what I was saying. Like you asked me earlier.
Yeah.
Like, what I think it was like, I would say like a great opening. Not a great opening, but like how I would know if it's a great film.
Yeah.
But I was proven wrong, and I've been proven wrong plenty of times while watching a movie. It took a turn for the better, and it pushed me into liking it.
Yeah.
As the more I went through, and the ending had me satisfied. I don't know if it would be land as much as it did with me with other people. But overall, like just ignoring that fact that how I felt at the beginning, I would give it an 8.5 or a 9 as well.
Gotcha.
It's a great movie.
Yeah.
I highly recommend watching
Really
it. Sound of Metal is out on Amazon Prime for free if you have the subscription service. If not, I guess you could rent it out for a few bucks or so.
Yeah. It's probably like
All right.
3 or 4 bucks.
Thank you for anyone that's listening or sticked around this long.
Mom,
Dad, or myself listening back to this. The only 3 people listening. Again, thank you so much for anyone that has, I guess, managed to pull through. Thank you, Thomas, for coming in clutch again.
Of course.
And
we're starting a Patreon.
With no people
No people.
And
we're gonna start an OnlyFans to promote it.
Hell no. All right.
Cut that out.
Maybe. I don't know. I'm trying to think of who I want to invite next, because I have a handful of people I wanted to invite, but they're all busy. College is a thing.
Yeah.
Other people are in other states doing other things.
Dude, we could Zoom.
Nah, I don't know. I don't want to aim for that, because we're already struggling as it is. I'll see what I can find. I guess when this does eventually go up to YouTube, I guess put in the comments any movies that you want us to talk about, or just watch.
Or just what you want us to talk about.
Yeah, basically too.
We'll talk about,
or any questions.
Except for the Capitol. We will not talk about the Capitol.
I think by then, the next time we actually start recording, it's not going to be. Oh,
it'll be something.
It'll be long gone. We'll be on to something else, a new trend, whatever. Oh, again, thank you, Thomas.
They'd be storming
the White House.
What is it? The Hype House?
The Hype House?
Or
with the TikTok kids?
Yeah.
They're not gonna gain anything from that.
They're not.
Yeah, it probably has more security than the Capitol.
Probably.
All right. Thank you so much for listening again.
Let's wrap it up.
Till next time.
From me.
I'm your host, Adrian, and this is Let's Talk Movies.